Well, it's a boring Sunday, and Claire and I were just sitting here talking about some math, and we thought we'd make a video for my students. So we're going to talk about matrices, and Claire is super excited to do that. So I want to tell you guys a little story, and it's about this class I took in college called linear algebra. Sounds easy, right? Algebra. You're like, I got that. It's easy stuff. Parts of it are easy. Parts of it are not. Linear algebra, or what's also known as elementary algebra sometimes, is all about matrices, and you can do all of these operations with them, and there's just tons of stuff that you can do in this class and on the calculator, but also a class in college lasts several weeks. We're just going to talk about matrices for a couple of days and how it relates to systems of equations. Okay, so what is a matrice? You can talk about systems of equations. So having something like 2x plus 3y equals 7. And then you're going to have another line after that. That systems of equation is a matrix. And so matrice is the plural of that. When you talk about a matrix, you want to talk about its rows and columns. So you've got 2 rows here, 1, 2 rows, and 3 columns. So, there's another example, 2 rows, 4 columns. You always want to talk about the dimensions of a matrix by rows by columns. And that's going to help us with something later on when we talk about multiplication. Okay, so when you're looking at a systems of equations, let me pull this up here, get a little bit bigger for you. You can look at a system like this with x's and y's and their equations, but you can also turn it into what's called an augmented matrix. That's where you're going to see the value of x, y, and the answer. So we've got 2x, which turned into 2, 5y turned into 5, 10's 10, okay? It doesn't take a genius to figure out what's happening here. We're just removing the x's and y's, removing the equal signs. This is another way to set it up so that you can solve it using elementary row operations, which we're going to get into another day. And like I said, you could spend a lot of time on this stuff, but we're just going to kind of touch the surface. So I want to show you this website that I'm using that I really like, and I use for practice questions sometimes. It's called mathisfun.com. You can literally search any topic that you want to learn more about, and trust me, they have it. What's neat is it really breaks down how to do everything, and at the bottom there's always like a little quiz that you can take. So I think that's just one more resource that's out there that can be super helpful. Okay, so we talked about what a matrix is and how to turn it into an augmented matrix. Now we're going to talk about adding matrices. This is super duper easy. All you have to do is keep everything lined up. So you want to take row 1 column 1 plus row 1 column 1 to give you the new row 1 column 1. Just go through, keep everything in the same place. So 4 plus 1 is 5. 6 minus 9 is negative 3, and so on. One thing that it's important is that when you're adding matrices, they have to be the exact same size. So this is a 2 by 2 and a 2 by 2, so you're going to get a 2 by 2. I could do a 2 by 3 and a 2 by 3, and I would get a 2 by 3. You can negate a matrix, which is just like the distributive property. So if I negate a matrix, I'm going to have all the signs are just the exact opposite. You can subtract 2 matrices, which again, this is going to be like the distributive property, but we're just going to do 3 minus 4 is negative 1. 6 minus negative 9, that would turn to positive, so 15. They're just keeping everything in the same place. Okay, so here's some new vocab I'm going to mention, and if you're in physics, you probably heard this before. We're going to talk about a scalar value. That's just a constant. So when you're in physics, you talk about vectors and scalars. Scalars just, it's just a number. It just has one thing. It goes in, just has like size, okay? When you talk about a vector, you're talking about something that has size and direction. So this little word there, just in case you see it pop up, you'll know what it means. It's just a number, in this case, a constant. So you can take a matrix, which is here, and you can multiply it by a scalar value. All you're doing is distributive property. You're taking this 2, multiplying it to each piece, and then getting the result. And we're going to use some of these skills here in just a bit. We're going to talk about matrix multiplying here in just a sec, but really with matrices, you have multiplication. And that's probably the trickiest thing, and it's not like it's that hard, but you just have to remember the process. When you're dividing, you really don't have division. We have what's called doing the inverse, and this is really something that you could do by hand. We're not going to touch on this, but you could also do it on the calculator. So if you have a TI-84, if you're interested in that, you could check it out, look up some videos on what all you can do with matrices. If you're not going to be a math major or a major that's heavy in math, then you're probably not going to have to do too much with this. Maybe if you're a business major, you might see some matrices because there's a lot of application there. But I have seen some questions on this on the SAT, so that's another reason I'm going to go over the topics that I'm going over. There's something called transposing. We're not going to worry about that either. And just some notation, I already kind of mentioned this before, that, I have row 1, column 1. This is row 1, column 2, row 1, column 3, and that's just some notation. So, if I'm asking, I think there's an example right here. Yeah, so like if I'm giving you a matrix, and I said, what is B sub 1, comma 1? Well, that's row 1, column 1. Okay, so be able to do stuff like that. All right, so if you're interested in some practice, there are questions here. I would ignore any of the ones that say transpose or inverse because we're not worried about that, but the adding and subtracting ones are good. I'm going to show you some examples and let you try some on your own. Okay, so we already talked about dimensions of a matrix, and we talked about how to go from a system of equations to a matrix. Make sure you're able to go the other way as well. So if I give you something like this, being able to go backwards. Okay, when you're adding and subtracting, like I said, it has to be the same dimensions. Why don't you go ahead and try this one on your own? Pause it. When you're ready, we will go over it. Okay, so welcome back. All right, well, all we're going to do is we're going to add these. So if you have a two matrices of the same size, just keep everything in the same place. So you got 2 plus 1 is 3. Negative 3 plus 0, negative 3. Below that, add those over here. 5 and 1 is 6. Over here, 9. And then this would be like 1.5, or you could do 3/2. Tend to keep things in fractions. And you can put some little brackets here. If you're going to subtract matrices, it's the same exact thing, except for just keep in mind like the negative, okay? So let's say we're going to subtract these two. And again, you can go ahead and pause it and play it when you're ready. And welcome back. So we're going to do 7 minus 6 is 1. Negative 3 minus 0, negative 3. 0 minus negative 6 is positive 6. It's just really basic. You can see why, the class, a lot of, it's called elementary algebra or linear algebra, because that is what it is. You're dealing with lines, but it's just in a different way. And if you've never seen anything like it before, it's super confusing. So I'm hoping that if you do have to take a class like this at some point, it won't be completely foreign. Okay, so Multiplying a matrix by a scalar value, I mean, all we're doing is distributive property. So for the first one, you're just going to take 3 times everything in C. For 2, you're just going to take D and cut everything in half. So, for instance, number 1, 3C would be 21, negative 9, 0, 0. Working with 0 is fun with this stuff. And 15. Half of D, 3, 0, negative 2, 4, 1/2, 9/2. Just leave it as a fraction, it's easier. It actually saves you some time. Okay, so we're going to talk about incorporating a little bit more algebra into this. And, you know, just like if you were solving this equation, if you were solving for x and b and c were numbers, what would you do? Well, you would add b to c and then divide by 3. So let's think about that. Let's look at b and c. So if I start with c and I add b to it, can that happen? Can you add these two together? The answer is no, because they're not the same dimension. So this one would actually not have a solution, because the dimensions aren't the same. So let's look at another one. If you were going to solve for this, what would you do? Think about it. There's really two options. The long way is to distribute 5 and then solve from there. The shorter way is to do d divided by 5, which that would be easy if you look at d, take everything divided by 5, then we would add over the c. Can you add c to that? Sure you can, because they are the same dimensions. So try to do that. Here's one more. Think about how you would solve this. What would you do? Get a plan in your head first. If you want to get x by itself, you're going to do 2a minus b divided by negative 3. Okay, so let's ask ourselves, can we do 2 times a? Sure, I can take 2 times all of these. That's easy. Can I subtract b from it? Sure, they're the same dimension. And then can you divide everything by negative 3? Yes. So try to do those. Okay, let's talk about multiplying. Once you're ready, if you're stuck on some of the earlier stuff, go back and focus on that. Rewatch it. Multiplying is definitely the trickiest thing that I'm going to show you, but it's really not that hard. Let me go back to the Math is Fun website. There was a separate page on that, because they have a really great visual for this. So we already talked about how to multiply a scalar value. We're going to talk about multiplying two matrices together. And what you're going to do is you're going to take everything in the first row and match it up with everything in the first column, and you're going to multiply them piece by piece. So you're going to do 1 times 7, 2 times 9, 3 times 11. And then you're going to add all those numbers up together. And so the work is right here. So you're doing row 1, column 1 times row 1, column 1. And then like 2 and 2, and 3 and 3. Matching those up, multiplying, adding them together, putting that here. So all of that work just gives you one place. Now, so here's a question. What size matrix will I have after I multiply these two matrices together? There's a really easy way to do this. If you look at the matrix here, it's a 2 by 3, and this one is a 3 by 2. So let me just kind of visually show you here what's happening. So 2 times 3 and a, oops, whoa, 2 by 3 and a 3 by 2. Okay, what's going to happen every single time, this is kind of neat, is that the middle pieces kind of cancel each other out, the 3's. And so the dimensions of your new matrix will always be the first and the last. So if I do a 2 by 3 and a 3 by 2, I'm going to get a 2 by 2. Alright, so let's look at how they're getting the rest of these entries. So I did row 1 times column 1 to get 58. now I'm doing row 1 times column 2. Again, it's kind of like distributive